Hello and welcome back to this video series where we're giving you some tips and ideas and food for thought really about how to grow your business to a level that it'll serve you and give you the kind of life that you really want. Now this video is kind of going back to the start really. It's asking the question about why do people start businesses in the first place and then what changes after they start. And the reality, what we know today is that there's more people starting businesses than ever before, more than at any point in history. And often they start with very big dreams, but sadly, most of them, I'm sure you've heard the statistic that 80% of businesses fail in the first 5 years. So sadly, most people who start businesses don't become successful. And of the ones who do get through that, many of those end up playing small, and that's not what we're all about, and that's not what we're encouraging people to do. So let's look at why people started the business in the first place, and maybe look at what changes after they start. Now, we've worked with and supported and helped in many ways hundreds of businesses in all sorts of different sectors. And what we found is that there are 4 main reasons why people start businesses, and there are 5 common reasons why they struggle and why things go off track. So let me go through what those things are. Okay, the 4 reasons why people start business. Well, the first one is that they have a big dream. They have a desire for freedom, for some kind of autonomy. They want to leave a legacy. They want to create a big difference in the world. So the first reason of the 4 is that they have a big dream, right? Maybe that applies to you. The second reason out of the 4 is that they have an opportunity. They recognise a situation. So, for example, where they have the opportunity to take a number of customers from an existing business and take it into a new business and start up that way. So they just had an opportunity to do that. Another very typical one is where people have been made redundant and they've had a lump sum, or they've had an inheritance and they can use a lump sum of money to start a new business. So there's an opportunity, there's that reason. The third is where they've actually had a genuine breakthrough and they've spotted a gap in the market and they've invented something, or they've found a way of serving a particular sector, and they can start the business in that way. So there's a breakthrough reason. And the fourth is where actually it's the only option really available. Typically someone who's been recently redundant and is struggling to find a job, so they often will start a business, and that's typically a franchise business, or they'll try and start a consultancy using their own particular skill set. So 4 main reasons. All of them are very valid reasons to start a business. Some are more likely to be the fuel that will grow a business into something that can be truly life-serving. So now let's move on to how things change. And there are 5 main reasons why things go off track. The first of those is that the business owner prioritises tactics over strategy. And what I mean by that is that they focus on being busy, they focus on doing things rather than having a clear strategy of what they're trying to achieve and where they're trying to get to, and then thinking through the simplest, most effective way to get there. So the first way of going off track is prioritising tactics over strategy. The second is that, sadly, that what the business they've created is actually a flawed business model. And really sadly, we've seen occasions where people think they've got a really good idea and they're selling and they're selling and they're making sales, but actually because the model is flawed, they're not making a profit at the end, but they don't necessarily know their key numbers. So that's, if the business model is flawed, then it's going to be a real problem. So there's that's the second of the 5 reasons. The third of the reasons why a business could go off track is that the owner especially is lacking essential skills in the business. Now typically these are in marketing or sales or in finance, where the owner is usually good at the particular subject, whether it's a particular trade or a particular activity that they're promoting and selling, but they don't have enough skill in the sales and marketing, or they don't have enough control on the financial side, and things go off track that way. That's the third reason. The fourth is that they then don't have enough checks and balances in place to know that they're going off track. And so they carry on blindly, often with optimism or hope, but sadly, if they knew the metrics that they needed to watch, they would be forewarned and they could make some decisions and change things. So not having the right checks and balances is a recipe for going off track. And the fifth very common reason is where there's a lack of decisiveness in the owner. And I'm sure you've heard the phrase of analysis paralysis, but it's where people become almost crippled with an inability to make a decision and move forward in a particular way. And the result of that is that you have procrastination, and you're delaying making decisions, and you're delaying taking action, and eventually you have stagnation, and the business just grinds to a halt, little by little, and it stops. So there you have 5 main reasons why businesses go off track. And I hope that's food for thought for you, and I would certainly encourage you to think about, do you feel, do you see, or do you relate to any of those 5 going off track reasons? And if you do, for example, if you're just focusing on being busy rather than having a clear strategy, you know that that's likely to be a problem in going down the line. And this is all about building a business into a size and into something that is going to truly serve you. So I hope you found that food for thought, and I look forward to speaking to you again in the next video.